Even thou. It's only 1 minute. Hello everyone. So I'm a minute early, so I'm just about to start on the Good Ship and the Good Ship Lifestyle. I'll post a link in the chat here in the live stream and in the Skype call. And it's now half an hour past the hour, so I'm gonna start reading the Good Ship Lifestyle. I read it yesterday, not during the event, but on another occasion. It was funny, and that's why I added it to the list. So here we go. The Good Ship Lifestyle by A Hoofdful of Dust. Why won't every pony leave Cheerilee alone about being single? It's got 3,000 words and it's rated by for everyone. It involves the entirety of Ponyville and the focus is on Cheerilee. So, here we go. The Good Ship Lifestyle by A Hoofdful of Dust. Cheerilee did not enjoy visiting her mother. There was nothing wrong with Cheerilee's mother. She was a nice pony. She was kind, sweet, and easy to talk to. Whenever Cheerilee came to visit, her mother would make the most delicious little cakes that reminded her of being a little filly. She and her mother would talk about how her class was doing, what's been going on in Ponyville, and how nice the weather had been the past week. It was all a nice, pleasant conversation. Nothing wrong with it at all. But when the delicious little cakes had been eaten, the activities of her students detailed, and the events, the climate, of Ponyville had exhausted as a topic, then. So, Cheerilee, is there a special some pony in your life? Yep, there it was, without fail, every time. Because it would be such a shame if you never found the time to find a stallion who's right for you. If there was a subject that really seemed to interest her mother, it was Cheerilee's love life. Or the mare, I mean, who am I to judge? But as long as you find some pony. She could talk for what seemed like hours, listing off all the things that might make Cheerilee a good partner, and then somehow turn all those good traits into one big negative, like somehow it was her fault for being single, while all these dateable qualities. Because I'm not getting any younger, and I want to see some grandfalls someday. Cheerilee sighed inwardly and tapped her hoof against the side of her plate her little cakes had arrived on. It was going to be a long visit. Cheerilee checked over her shopping list once more, then tucked it into her saddlebag before rounding the corner that opened up to the marketplace. First on the list, rose petals. She headed straight for Rose's stall, eager to get her shopping done before anything was sold out. Hey Cheerilee, how are things with you and Big Macintosh? Rose asked. I don't know. We haven't run into each other for a couple of days. Fine, I guess. Rose blinked. But I thought you were getting married. Cheerilee closed her eyes and sighed. No, we're not, she said with a strange smile. But didn't the two of you wreck a couple of buildings just the other day? What more obvious sign of love than wanton property destruction? There was just a little mix-up involving some of my students. Rose's face fell. So you two aren't getting married? Nope, we're not even dating. Cheerilee wondered if she shouldn't have given Applebloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo a more severe punishment than writing out, I must not meddle in my teacher's relationships 100 times over, each. That's too bad. You two really looked great as a couple together. Goodbye, Rose, Cheerilee said, slamming her bits down for the flowers and with a bit more force than was needed. She made a rapid exit. Rose and my mother would get along great, Cheerilee thought as she made her way through the marketplace. If they were ever in a room together for 5 minutes, they'd probably have some plan to cook up for more than just a love potion. The next stall she had to hit was Daisy's, for, appropriately enough, daisies. The stall was never without queue, as daisies were very popular food, and Daisy's daisies were the best. Cheerilee got in a line behind a cream-colored pony. Said pony noticed her and spun around and started a conversation. "Morning, Cheerilee," said Bon Bon. Good morning. She was trying to remember how she knew Bon Bon. Maybe it was just one of those things. When you live in a small town, you learn every pony's name eventually. "So," Bon Bon said with a knowing smile, "what's this I heard about you and Twilight Sparkle?" Not again, she thought, trying to keep her face friendly with a smile pleasant. Cheerilee answered, I don't know what you mean. What have you heard about me and Twilight Sparkle?" "Well, you know," Bon Bon dropped her voice in a conspirative whisper. "The school teacher, the local egghead, two masks of intellectualism that conceal a passionate romance carried on behind closed doors in between library stacks. Eh? Hey?" She raised her eyebrows. No. What? Where did you even ever come up with that? So you're telling me you're not part of a raging, torrid, heated, sapphic affair with Twilight? "That's exactly what I'm saying," Cheerilee said, trying to keep her face as neutral as possible. "Oh, well," a devilish grin across her face. "If you ever are, let me know." She dropped Cheerilee a sly wink and then turned around, leaving Cheerilee utterly dumbfounded as she ordered the last dozen of daisies. What in Equestria is going on this morning? Cheerilee found herself wishing she was still in bed and that this was all just part of some strange dream. She watched Bon Bon walk away with her daisies. She thankfully had no further theories to share about what she and Twilight were doing while no pony was around. Cheerilee stepped up to Daisy's stall and placed her order. 20 daisies, please." It was then she noticed that the ridiculously exaggerated grin Daisy was giving her. "Oh no, not you too," Cheerilee said. "Okay, out with it. Which pony do you think I was dating?" "No pony at all," Daisy said, smile still in place. "Well, that's a relief. Can I?" "Because you're dating Spike!" Daisy's smile threatened to split her head if it got any wider. "Spike? The dragon? You gave him a hat for his birthday." "But he's a dragon, and I'm not a dragon. It was so cute. I don't think he's even of age. Don't you think he's cute?" "Daisy!" Cheerilee held Daisy's gaze with her own. "I'm not dating Spike." "Ah," Daisy pouted. "Why not?" Because aside from very biological incompatibilities, I'm pretty sure it's illegal." "That's a shame. You two would be adorable together." Cheerilee groaned. "Can I please have my 20 daisies?" "Sure, here you go." She pushed the daisy across the counter. "But don't you go counting Spike out so soon. He's quite a catch, you know." Cheerilee backed away from Daisy's stall so quickly that she collided with something violently pink standing behind her. If Daisy's smile had been impossibly wide, Pinky's grin must surely have been touching somewhere at the back of her head. She giggled at Cheerilee like she had just discovered a great secret. "You? And Daisy?" she managed, looking like she was trying to not spontaneously combust. "I don't believe it!" "I don't believe it either, Pinky. Maybe the whole world had gone mad and had forgotten to tell her." "I'm so happy for the both of you. This calls for Cheerilee has a special sun pony and that special pony is Daisy party." "Would you mind walking me to how you figured this all out?" "Well, I saw the two just talking now." Cheerilee waited for something more to come, and when nothing did, she asked, And that's how I knew you two were together." "That's it? We were talking?" "Uh-huh." Pinkie Pie nodded vigorously. I barely know. I was just buying some food." "But don't you think you'd be perfect for each other? I mean, Daisy knows all about daisies, and you have daisies on your cutie mark." Cheerilee reached around to look at her cutie mark. "Actually, I'm not sure what kind of flowers these are." "Maybe Daisy can help you figure that out." "Pinky, I'm not involved with Daisy. Not even a little? Not even at all. I'm not involved with her, or Spike, or Twilight, or Big Mac. Not any pony." "No pony?" Pinkie Pie asked, puzzled. "None at all. Not even Caramel?" "No. Or Fluttershy?" No, not Fluttershy either. Or Rayburn? I don't even know who that is. You mean? Pinky's expression was unreadable. It was like she was trying to comprehend the incomprehensible. You mean you don't have a special sun pony? That's right. I don't have a special sun pony. Cheerilee breathed a sigh of relief. Maybe now some pony would listen and start to listening to what. Then I have to find you one, Pinkie Pie exclaimed. Oh no. No. Cheerilee felt light-hearted as she saw Pinkie take an impossibly deep breath and announced to the marketplace, Hey everypony! Who wants to help me find Cheerilee a special sun pony? It was like the entire population of Ponyville suddenly converged around them. Cheerilee was surrounded by a sea of ponies who had just dropped whatever they were all doing the moment before they lent their 2 bits on their love life, each clamoring to be heard over the furor of shouted suggestions. Nurse Redheart! Shouted the pony to Cheerilee's left. No, Nurse Redheart is with Thunderlane, retorted a voice from the crowd. No, you're wrong! Cried another pony from somewhere behind Pinkie. He hooked up with the Time Turner. And Nurse Redheart is with Alloway from the spa, came yet another voice. Vera then! Vera is eating berry punch. The great and powerful Trixie! Called a voice from somewhere behind the crowd. Their voice received a smattering of boos. Carrot Top? No, and her and Apple Cobbler are an item. How about Rainbow Shine? She's dating Rainbow Dash. I thought Spitfire was dating Rainbow Dash. No, I'm dating Rainbow Dash, Pinkie exclaimed, rearing up on her hind legs. I'm dating Rainbow Dash too, shouted Daisy. And me, cried Amethyst Star, pushing her way into the front of the crowd. Me too, so am I. She told me we had something special. Quiet! Pinkie yelled. A tense silence fell over the crowd of ponies. Now, she asked, every pony raise your hoof if you're currently dating Rainbow Dash. She put a hoof in the air. The entire crowd did likewise. When the arguments erupted like a torch of being tossed into a bonfire, Cheerilee, on her 4 hoofs still firmly on the ground, realized no pony was paying attention to her anymore. She pushed back through the crowd, keeping her head low and forcing her way past the ponies loudly, insisting that they were the right special sun pony for Rainbow Dash, until finally she stumbled out of the babbling throng. She took a deep breath and unseized the opportunity. She bolted. Cheerilee dashed down the street, eager to get away. She had no sooner passed a couple of storefronts when she was grabbed and forced into one of the buildings. Hey, what? She tried to yell, but was cut off by a loud and forceful shh. Cheerilee took a quick look around. She had been dragged into the sugar cube corner, and standing in front of her was Mr. and Mrs. Cake? Shh, Mrs. Cake said again. They'll hear you. It's all right, dear, Mr. Cake said, glancing out the window. I think they're too busy to notice. Phew. Cheerilee cleared her throat. Would you mind telling me what this is all about? Dear, Mrs. Cake said, we're helping you hide. We normally hide here until they calm down, Mr. Cake said, as he surreptitiously flipped the open sign on the door to closed. Wait, the town bothers you with this too? Cheerilee was aghast. But you're married! Shh! Mrs. Cake's eyes darted around the room. And we know! There's no making sense of any pony when they're like this. No matter how many times we tell them we're happy together, some pony will insist we'd be better off with Pinkie Pie. Or me with Mr. Mary Mare, said Mr. Cake, from his position held behind the window. The Cakes exchanged a glance, then rolled their eyes in unison. So how do you... Cheerilee started to ask, when she was interrupted by Mr. Cake. Some pony's coming, he said in a strained whisper. Shh! Exclaimed Mrs. Cake and forced Cheerilee to hide behind the counter. A melodic voice came just from outside the door. This door is closed. I shall not moan. I can still bake cakes on my own. The market's open. It's not too late to find a way to celebrate. Cheerilee popped her head up. just in time to see Sakura's striped flank disappear past the window of Sugar Cube Corner. She and Mrs. Cake crept closer to the window, listening with Mr. Cake. Ponyville is rarely quiet, Sakura was saying to herself, but this almost looks like a riot. She cautiously approached the crowd of arguing pony. Could I ask, if I may, why are you so worked up today? Pinkie Pie worked her way to the head of the crowd. Sakura! Do you have any special some pony? Some zebra? She scratched her head. A maid I've not had time to find. Do you have some pony in mind? That's the worst possible thing she could have said, Cheerilee whispered. The Cakes exchanged another glance and nodded without speaking. The suggestions from the crowd came thick and fast. Lily! Rainbow Dash! The great and powerful Trixie! Cheerilee backed away from the window. What's gotten into them? Every pony doesn't need to be in some sort of relationship all the times. I don't. I'm happy with being single. Sure, having a special some pony would be nice, and maybe my mother would get off my back about not having seen anyone in 3 years, but the whole town is getting involved. She looked to Mr. and Mrs. Cake for some understanding. We know, dear, Mrs. Cake said. They just get this way when there's some unpaired ponies about. I can't stand to see any pony. They can't stand to see any pony being alone, I think. They don't mean any harm by it. But why? Cheerilee asked. Why is it so important to every pony? The Cakes exchanged a glance. We've got no idea, Mrs. Cake said. Do we, dear? Not at all, said Mr. Cake. He took a quick peek out the window. I think they're too busy trying to fix up Sakura to have remembered you. You could probably leave out the back and not raise too much of a fuss if you wanted. Will you be okay in here? Cheerilee asked. Oh, sure. We've seen the town do this plenty of times, Mrs. Cake said. You go. Cheerilee made her exit through the storeroom. She tried to walk as casually as she could manage, like she was in no hurry to be anywhere. Like she wasn't worried some pony would suddenly spot her, and like it was perfectly normal for almost any pony in town to be holding some kind of impromptu auction to determine who would be Sakura's special some pony. Maybe my mother's not so bad after all, she thought. She's never suggested I'd be perfect with a baby dragon after all. Cheerilee was so lost in thought that she didn't hear the Pegasus touch down beside her. Hi, Miss Cheerilee, Derpy Hooves exclaimed. Yeah! Cheerilee jumped away from the sound. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I scare you? I didn't mean to. No, it's okay, Cheerilee said. Cheerilee took a deep breath to regain her composure. I just thought you were trying to get me set up with some pony. Are you doing that again? Derpy indicated the flurry of activity in the market square. You know about that? The crazy every pony must be in a relationship thing? Oh yeah, they tried it on me once. Cheerilee was suddenly curious. She had never seen Derpy with any pony that looked remotely like some special pony. What happened? She asked. Well, I ignored them, of course, Derpy said, matter-of-factly. I've got deliveries to make, and little Dinky to take care of. I don't have any time to be getting into a relationship. I know! Ponies think that it's easy being a teacher, but it's lots of work. Just because we have a long holiday when school's out for summer, she huffed. It's not like I'm not planning lessons all through my holidays. I can imagine, Derpy sympathized. Just minding one foal is hard. I don't know what I'd do with a dozen or more. They shared a laugh. So, Derpy, Cheerilee asked, do you really just ignore every pony when they start talking about relationships? Sure do, she replied. It's not so hard. You just have to not engage them, and then they won't end up like that. She cocked a hoof over her shoulder to the fray it's still going on in town. I'll try that next time. Thanks, Derpy. No problem. It's tough for us single ponies. You said it. Derpy made a turn to fly off, but Cheerilee stopped her. Say, Derpy. Yeah, Miss Cheerilee? This is probably going to sound strange. Any stranger than what your day has been so far? No, that's a good point. She took a breath. Us single ponies have to look out for each other. Derpy, how would you feel about us being single together? A puzzled expression crossed her face. I'm not really sure what that means. Neither do I, Cheerilee said with a grin, and I'm betting every pony else in town won't know what to make of it either. Derpy started nodding slowly. I think I see where you're going. We could not be in a relationship together. That's right. That's pretty tricky, Miss Cheerilee. So, what do you think? I think it's a great idea, Derpy said with a big smile. The pair started to walk away from town side by side. You know, Cheerilee remarked, this could be the beginning of a beautiful friendship. And that's the story. And I'm gonna start 15 past the hour on the next story. So we've got a 25-minute break. 25-minute break. 31. I'm tasting blood, so a long break is in order. Sorry, you guys. Yep. Oh, I gotta quit the Skype call. No live stream since I'm gonna start in just under half an hour.